I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of the cult of victims, the names of victims, grainy pictures of victims. I'm sick of the thousands of victims of war or famine or conflict, like I'm listening to sports scores or something on a rolling news channel. This just in, I'm sick of victims. Whilst in the same show, close-up pictures of a white blonde murder victim who hasn't been seen since Thursday help me believe I still give a fuck about someone, some victim. It's a shame for that victim, the individual victim, the named victim, the showcased victim, the oppressed victim, the slaughtered, the drone-killed victim. But I'm only ticking the box of giving a fuck for them. Hey, I'm only human. It's good of the media to parade pathos, mawkish sentiment across our minds every day. Otherwise, you might think we don't give a shit about those victims. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of vigils for victims who were loved by everyone in the community and were laughing and smiling and enjoying life. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of fundraising for victims, memorials for victims. I'm sick of our brave fucking hero victims who signed up to murder other people and heroically died, dying as they made the ultimate victim sacrifice. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of Hollywood sex abuse victims who blowjob their way to a nice house with a swimming pool, saying years later, "It was awful wanking off Harvey," to get that job, where I'm paid more than the national debt of the land of Oz. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of Jennifer Lawrence sticking her tits out on the red carpet in a dress painted over her camel toe, saying, "It's a sex crime. I'm a victim. Don't look at my naked selfies hacked off the iCloud." I'm sick of intolerant liberals and super sensitive victims offended by things people just say, words or lack of words or wrong words. I'm sick of cyberbully victims who can't find the internet off switch. I'm sick of LGBT ABCDEFG victims moaning about their trigger words while half the world's obese and the other half haven't been fed yet. I'm sick of victims. But hey, no, your sensitivity to people's thoughts is totally valid. I'm sick of misgendering offenses, fat shaming, and claims it's abuse to be rude or have opinions someone else doesn't like. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of religious tolerance, like anyone's bizarre fucking superstitions are somehow sacred and beyond reproach. I'm sick of victims, even though they believe millions are evil, and damn to hell for not believing their dumb mumbo jumbo. I am sick of victims. Whilst for centuries they've been raping children and milking their congregation, I'm sick of the unsolved, unending conveyor belt of collateral damage victims. The price worth paying victims to spread freedom and democracy victims to where? Nowhere ever. No freedom in Egypt, China, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Afghanistan or Libya, and you can forget Tibet. Are you with me yet? I'm sick of victims. Where did we bomb to freedom? Where did we bomb the freedom into? It ain't happened yet. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of suffering, squalor, oppression, tyranny, exploitation, consumerism, and capitalism. I'm sick of victims, and I'm sick of no one doing anything about that while we try and sort out which toilet Edith, who's transitioning from great ape to a higher primate, will use when she finally gets rid of her dick. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of victims, sick of the sight of the missing, the murdered, the raped, the stabbed, the shot, the beaten. I'm sick of mass shooting victims, post-mortem victims, where 24 dead get more airtime than the population of Mosul victims who were slaughtered by us liberating them victims. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of accidental gun crime victims who shot themselves in the face playing with a daddy's gun victims, and we have to hear their name and see pictures of their grieving relatives victims as they weep in HD on my widescreen TV victims. I'm sick of victims. While the war and the arms trade remain the biggest business on earth, bar none, I'm sick of victims, of their smiling faces harvested off Facebook, beamed into my brain with a backstory in the formation of a charitable trust. I'm sick of victims. I'm sick of making sure this never happens again. I'm sick of victims, and we've only just begun. Man, there's 7.5 billion potential victims to come, waiting to be cut down in their prime, when all they were doing was raping the planet, killing and lying. I'm sick of victims.